Sundays feel like a countdown. Like I be sitting there trying to rest, but in the back of my mind, I already knew that Monday was coming and I wasn't ready for it. Not because I hadn't worked hard enough the week before, but because I hadn't set anything up for the next week. So I would spend Sunday quietly anxious, pretending to relax, yet at the same time, I'm running through a mental list of everything I need to remember. And by the time Monday hit, I was already behind. And then I changed one thing, one simple thing on Sundays. And it changed how my entire week feels. Hey, I'm Tamberly. Welcome to Digital Wellness Journal. Today, I want to talk to you about the Sunday reset. Not a productivity routine, not a bullet journal spread, not anything that takes hours to set up. Just the actual practice I do on Sundays that makes my whole week feel different before it even starts. Okay, so first, let me tell you what I used to do, and maybe you can relate and you know the feeling. So Sundays would come and I would tell myself I was resting, right? But I wasn't really resting. I was just not working, which is not the same thing, right? Because my brain was still going, still running, still carrying everything that I hadn't sorted yet from the week before, and everything I already knew was coming up for the next week. That is not rest. That is exhaustion with a laptop closed, if we're going to be honest about it. So here's what I do now. And it's three simple things, just three. The first thing is that I actually rest. And I mean, I protect it. Sundays is the day where I intentionally fill back up before I pour out again. That might look like sleeping in, watching something that I want to watch on TV, binge watch. I'm not checking my emails. I'm not opening up anything that's DWJ related. Just being a person for a few hours. And I know that sounds simple, but I had to give myself permission to do that. Because for a long time, rest felt like I was failing and falling behind. And that's a whole other conversation we won't even get into. But here's what I know, if I don't rest on Sunday, I'm already empty by Tuesday, to be honest. And no system in the world can fix a drained person, right? Now, the second thing is I set one intention for the week, not a goal list, not a to do list, just one intention. And it might be something like I want to show up more for myself this week, or I want to protect my evenings after 8 p.m., or I want to focus on one particular project and not let everything else pull me off of it. Just one. Because when everything is a priority, nothing really is, right? And having that one intention gives my whole week a direction that isn't just reactive. And the third thing is this is where it gets good because this is where I actually sit down with Claude and I actually design what I want my week to look like. Now, if you've seen my video on how I use Claude and Notion to run my days, you already know how the brain dump really works. And I'll link the video below because that system is doing a lot of heavy lifting for me. But Sunday is different. Sunday is the upstream version, okay? It's where I zoom out before I zoom in. So here's what I do. I open Claude and I do a weekly brain dump. Everything on my mind for the week ahead. DWJ work, my full-time job, household things, appointments, personal things, relationships, just all of it. A weekly dump, right? It's messy, it's unfiltered, and I just get it out of my head and onto the screen. And then I ask Claude to help me see the week clearly. Not just what needs to happen, what needs to be done, but what actually matters, what I should protect, what can wait, what what needs a boundary, a rule, or what even I can delegate. And because I have a notions, my notions connected to it, that runs through co-work. It takes everything that I've sorted and it populates that into my life task board. My week has a shape. I can see it and I know what's on the calendar and I know what's not on there. And y'all, let me tell you, I actually have days where there is nothing scheduled, nothing after work, and that's on purpose. Not because nothing needs to happen, but because I decide that rest is important and margins are also things that need to be on the calendar. And that right there is the part that changed everything for me. Because before I made this simple change, my weeks just really happened to me. I wake up on Monday and I would just start reacting. I would be putting out fires left and right, doing whatever felt most urgent. And you know, when everything's in your head, all of it feels urgent, right? And then by Friday, I was fried. I was tired, exhausted, and I couldn't even tell you what I actually accomplished that really mattered. And now I know what my week is before it starts, and that there changes how I move through it completely. I'm not reacting and I'm not spinning. I'm not wondering what I should be doing, and I set the intention. I designed the week, and I now know how to execute it, right? And here's the thing I really want you to hear. This isn't about being perfect. Some weeks I still get thrown off because life be life, right? A client thing may come up, life happens. My dad may call, and that kind of throws a whole 30, 40 minutes with a conversation, and it shifts my afternoon. And that's perfectly fine because I built margins in. When you design your week with actual breathing room in, those unexpected stuff doesn't destroy your whole day or your whole week, right? It just takes up the space you left for it. And that's the difference. That's a completely different way to live. So, if you've been waking up on Mondays already feeling like you're behind, it might not be that you need more to do. It might just be that you need a Sunday that actually sets you up for what actually matters instead of just finishing off the week before. Rest first, one intention, and design the week before it designs you. Before you close out, I want you to sit with one question, just one. What would your week feel like if you actually designed it instead of just surviving it? Don't answer it out loud, just let it land. And if you want a community of women that is on this exact same journey, lightening the load and slowly coming back to themselves, come join us in the Prompted Life. It's free, it's real, and it's full of women who get it without you having to explain yourself. The link is in the description, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching. If you're designing a life less loaded, subscribe and join the community. Drop a comment below. I read every single one. See you next time.